YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Draft. My name is JD, and today we're here with our playthrough Pokemon Blue. The figure the best Psychic Pokemon is in Generation 1. We played through with 4 Pokemon so far: Mewtwo, Alakazam, Mew, and Hypno. Recommend you check those videos out, they're a lot of fun to make. Today we're continuing with the trend. We have 3 more Psychic types left, and one of those Psychic types that we're doing today is Mr. Mime, the barrier Pokemon. Before I dive into Mr. Mime, big shout out to another YouTuber. I don't want to butcher his name, but I think it's Dewanda016. He actually gave me the idea for a patch. So if you go watch his videos, he does Pokemon Blue content as well. However, there's a patch that you can get that makes Pokemon Blue look a lot more vibrant, a lot more colorful. Kind of looks like Generation 2. And he showed me the patch, and I figured out how to do it. So I want to give him a big shout out. If you want to go check out his channel, link is in the description down below, along with a bunch of other YouTubers. But because of him, this is a lot more vibrant. Usually, Pokemon Blue is only like black and white because when it came out, Pokemon Color wasn't a thing. Actually, my first version of Pokemon, I had a Pocket Game Boy. It was a silver Pocket Game Boy. So like I said, black and white. But this is a patch that makes it colorful and more vibrant and looks like Generation 2. So I just want to give a shout out. Now we have a better version of Pokemon Blue we can play. So without further ado, let's dive into Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime's stats are as follows. HP is 40, attack is 45, defense is 65, speed is 90, and special is 100. That being said, let's go and dive into this Pokemon. We got a lot of stuff to go over with this Pokemon. It's going to take a while because I know I took a while to get that started. There we go. And we're going to face our rival. Rival's name is Like and Sub, and he has a Charmander. Really isn't a great option. I just chose Charmander. If I chose Venusaur, we're going to have an advantage early. If I chose Blastoise, it's going to have a water disadvantage. And eventually, we are going to have an advantage over Charizard, but this really is not a great option. None of the Psychic types have had good options when it comes to the rival's Pokemon. As we're training, let's go and go over some things. We are a Mono Psychic type, which means we're only weak to one thing, and that's bugs. But there's really only one bug move in this game, that's Leech Life, and we don't even have to deal with it from bugs. We are in the medium fast growth rate, which is not the best growth rate, but it's still a pretty decent one. And because of our speed, we have a critical hit rate of 17.58. We start the game with Confusion, which is a Psychic type move that is Stab, so it's 75 base power with Stab. It's 50 normal, but 75 with Stab. And we also start with Barrier, which I don't think I actually ever used Barrier. And then we're going to dive into our second rival battle on the way to Victory Road. Confusion will 2-shot the Pidgey, so we avoid getting Sand Attack. Now we're going to hit Confusion on the Charmander. Very nice. In this video, I do have a plan to go over something that I don't really go over very often, but I've gotten a lot of questions about it because of my Mew video. And we're going to go into this last battle against this Bug Catcher. It's going to be a one-shot with Confusion. Very good. That being said, we're going to transition right into our gym battle again. Well, into the Million Light Years trainer, I should say. And we're going to go for Barrier, make it so he can't attack us. Okay, so I do use Barrier once or twice in this playthrough, but I don't usually use Barrier. And we named him Barry, by the way, our Pokemon, because he's a barrier Pokemon, so I thought it'd be the best name. And we're going to go right into our battle against Brock. 2 minutes and 50 seconds, we start our battle. Geodude comes out. Is it a one-shot on Geodude? It is not. Confusion knocks it out. Very good. We level up. And now Onix will be also, it'll be a 3-shot. Oh, no, 2-shot. Okay, got good range on the second one. So we beat Brock. Wakanda forever. And we get the badge. Now, something I want to go over really quick. I'm going to pause it right here. So this is a good time to pause it. In this video, I need to explain what the badge boost glitch is. A lot of people have been asking that. In my Mew video, I added Swords Dance, and I had all special moves. And people were like, why'd you add Swords Dance? Swords Dance doesn't affect special moves. In Generation 1, specifically, it's the only generation this happens, there's a thing called the badge boost glitch. Whenever your stats are modified, so like right now, if you look at the bottom left corner, under attack, there's a little badge there, like a little outline of a badge. That's Brock's badge. Brock gives us a boost to all of our physical attacking stats. Okay, so whenever we beat him, he gives us a 12.5% boost to our attack stat. So right now that's applied. If I were to go in, and I'll do this in the next video to make sure I'll show you more directly, because I'll actually set aside some time to do it. If I were to go into this Pokemon, look at its stats, it's not going to show 27 as our attack. It's going to show something less. It's going to show 12.5% less. Okay, because my overlay is actually showing the badge modification now before we even enter the battle. When we enter the battle, it applies that badge. But out of battle, it's going to show the stats as they are just normally. But when we go into battle, it applies this badge. And as we progress through the game, every odd number gym leader is going to give us a boost to something. For example, defense, Lieutenant Surge. Speed, we get that from Koga. And then special, we get that from Bland. So you'll see those progress. And right now, if we were going to a battle and get hit by Leer, our attack stat will increase by 12.5% again. It's a glitch. And it's just a Generation 1 thing. It's a quirk in Generation 1. I always say Generation 1 is a glorious masterpiece of imperfection. It's not perfect, but it's amazing because of what it is and what it started. this amazing journey that is Pokemon, and probably the most profitable IP in the world. So that's just something I want to explain. I'll show it a little bit later because we will get a move that'll actually, showcase this a little bit better. But I just want to go over that really quick. And we're facing this guy right here. He's not necessary, but does he have? Yeah. So Ekans can go for Leer right now, and we just one-shot it because it's the poison type. But if it went for Leer right there, it would lower our defense, but it would up our attack stat by 12.5%. So it's some good parts and bad parts. This is the way it is. And now we're facing the super duper nerd. Confusion will two-shot the Voltorb. Very good. And then the last Pokemon is Coughing. It should go down to 1 Confusion. Very good. And we grab the Dome Fossil. Oh, hell with Dome Fossil. If I didn't tell you, I knew you were going to ask. Actually, anyway, go ahead and ask. Comments are right for the YouTube algorithm. Shout out to Madribrite. His link is also down there in the comments section, or in the description, I should say. And let's move right on and face our rival. Rival number 3 on Nugget Bridge. And we're going to go ahead and go for Barrier, just to make sure we don't take a lot of damage. Confusion. And we get Sand Attack, which is like the worst thing ever, but it is what it is. We get half our damage taken away. Go for Mega Punch on the Abra. We have 2 Pokemon left. We level up level 19. We just got a hit. That's all it is. And we get a miss. And we hit there. Very good. And now Charmander comes out. Charmander will be a 2-shot. We just got a hit. There we go. Good job fighting through the Sand Attack. We beat our rival. And we're going to move right on and face Misty. Now, Misty is not easy because we don't have great moves for Misty. However, we're going to get an attempt at it here. Starmie comes out. Confusion. It's going to be a 2-shot. Very good. Get the knockout. Now, Starmie is going to go for... well, maybe she is going to go for... I thought she was going to go for only special moves because we don't have a great... Well, we don't decent special. But we get the win over Misty. Seismic Toss really helped there. It's a set damage move. And now we're going to move right on to the SSN, where we're going to get a little bit of a better move over Mega Punch. Now, we do need a physical move. Even though this Pokemon has a garbage attack stat, just like every other Psychic Pokemon out there. It doesn't have a great... Actually, that's not true. Mew has a very good attack stat. And so I want to give Mew that credit. He has a pretty good attack stat. So does Mewtwo. But most Psychic-type Pokemon do not have a good physical attack stat. So we don't want to lean in too much to physical damaging moves. However, this Pokemon does need a move to take care of other Psychic-type Pokemon. And we do get Meditate later, which ups our physical attack stat, not our special. So having a physical attack stat isn't the worst thing to have. And we're body slamming our way through our rival, and Confusion knocks out the Charmeleon. We get the win over our rival on the SSN, and we move right on to Lieutenant Surge. Now, Lieutenant Surge is going to give us a really nice move that we're going to take advantage of. But first, we got to beat him. So there's a Confusion and Seismic Toss combination knocks out the Voltorb. Confusion on the Pikachu and Raichu. We have good special, so I don't think Raichu is going to do that much damage. Now, right there, hold on. Right there, it didn't do it, dang it, because it went for Growl. Right there, it went for Growl, which lowers our attack stat. If we had another badge, you'd see other stats and go up because that got lowered. So when we have one, I'll show it to you when it happens, okay? But we beat Lieutenant Surge, move right on to Rock Tunnel. And Rock Tunnel is nothing in here I would like to showcase except for one battle, and that's against Boomer the Hiker. Boomer the Hiker is going to come out with a Geodude, and a Graveler. And I show this because he can be a wall sometimes. But we get a very easy win over him. We had a 2-shot on the Graveler, move right on. To Celadon City, we're going to take on Erika's gym. Now, Erika is the grass specialist, however, she has a lot of poison-type Pokemon here, so we do have an advantage, except for this Pokemon and Tangela. This Pokemon, Execute, is a big point of contention for Psychic types in this challenge. Only 2 Pokemon so far have had an easy way to deal with it. That's because Mewtwo and Mew had Ice Beam. But now, we're taking on Erika, and she leads out with a grass poison Pokemon, Victreebel. Victreebel, I thought would go down to 1 Psychic, but it does not. It hangs on, and then it poisons us. Now, poison isn't the worst thing, because now we can't get put to sleep, we can't get paralyzed, you can only have 1 affliction at a time. So now we're going to 2-shot Tangela, very good, get the knockout. And then Vileplume comes out. We don't 1-shot Vileplume either, it's not a good range. But we do get the knockout, get the win over Erika. We're not going to learn Double Slap, and we're going to get out of here and go face Giovanni. Giovanni number 1 in his underground basement game corner thing. And he comes out with a Onix, within Onix. That's a horrible grammar on my part. Rhyhorn goes down to 1 Psychic, and Kangaskhan, we switch up the Thunderbolt because we wanted to save some power points, make sure we had enough to get through our rival. And we get the win. He goes, I'm Batman, and vanishes. And now we're going to go meet up with our rival in Pokemon Tower, rival number 5. And he's going to lead out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is going to go down to 1 Thunderbolt, very good. Execute comes out, still don't have a great move for Execute, so we're going to rely on Body Slam. And a combination of Body Slam and Psychic gets the job done. The next Pokemon to come out is Gyarados, is 4 times with the Thunderbolt, so we get the knockout there. Kadabra comes out, physical moves are really detrimental to Kadabra, very good. And then the last Pokemon is Charmeleon. Knock it out with a Psychic, very good, beat our rival, and move right on to face Koga's Gym. Now, I'm going to talk for a second about Koga's Gym, because Koga's Gym's been very annoying for the entire Psychic-type challenge. Because Koga's Gym, it's supposed to be a Poison-type gym. but there's no poison type Pokemon in here except for Koga, and like one other person in here has like a Sand Slash, which isn't even poison type. Doesn't make sense. But everyone else in here has like Hypnos, Drowsies, and Kadabras. It doesn't make sense, but I digress. It's kind of annoying for the Psychic types that they have to deal with all this. We got through this with Body Slam. That's why Body Slam has no power points left. But Psychic will one-shot the Coughing. Psychic will also one-shot the Muck. The Coughing will down to one Psychic as well. And Wheezing, the worst case scenario here is a self-destruct. However, it goes for Toxic, not the biggest deal in the world. We can take a little bit of poison damage. We knock out Koga, we beat him. And now if you see in the bottom left corner, what I've been talking about with the badges, see how attack, defense, and speed all have a little badge next to them? Whenever stats are modified, those will be changed. And you'll see that here in a little bit because we actually have the move Meditate. So let's go ahead and watch this battle. I should not have done this battle. This is a time waste right here, and I should have just gone and face plane. So here we go. Thunderbolt is not going to one-shot, and it's going to two-shot. Now we go for Meditate. See how I went for Meditate. My attack stat went up. However, my defense and my speed changed. That is the badge boost glitch in action. If you watch it again, I think I do Meditate one more time. And so let's see here. Yeah, okay. See how all my stats changed. My speed went from 133 to 194. That is the badge boost glitch. When you modify your stats in Gen 1, it'll obviously you're changing the one stat you're modifying. So in this case, we're doing Meditate to up our attack stat. But all the other stats that have a badge, that's why Special hasn't changed, goes up 12.5% every time that's applied. Now, if we level up in battle, that will change because we level up, so it resets back to what our base stats are. Or our stats are like before all the badge modifiers. Okay? So I just want everyone to make sure that that's how it works. So in this generation, like people were asking me in my Mewtwo video, or my Mew video, why was I using Swords Dance? Because even though Swords Dance doesn't see, now my stats reset. My speed was up to like 149 or something like that, and it reset back to 110, which is what it is normally before any badge modifications. However, attack stat's still 209. That is the one stat that does not change because I am intentionally badge boosting that. If someone were to use like Leer, that would also stay the same. So I just want to make sure everyone's aware that is how the badge boost glitch works in Generation 1. It doesn't apply in any other generation. I wish it did. Generation 2 would be a lot easier if you could do the badge boost glitch like that. But you can't. So we attempt this battle again. We do knock out the Pidgeot, and it goes for Stun Spore and Leech Seed, so that's not fun. And I should have just not done this. This is a bad choice on my part. I shouldn't have done this. I should have gone right for Blaine and then got it so my special attack can go up, and it made this battle a lot easier. It is what it is. I'm going to go for Thunderbolt and knock out the Gyarados. Gyarados, foregone conclusion. The thing is, do we knock out the Alakazam? If we hit the Alakazam, we would knock it out because we still have our attack stat boosted. Nope, we don't knock it out, actually. So, we do knock it out eventually, but, it basically had a chance to knock us out and it didn't do it. So, we leave and we go face Blaine, and we'll come back and face our rival in Silph later. Blaine comes out, he has a Growlithe, and we're going to go for a Meditate. Meditate's going to be boosting our attack stat. And here we go, Meditate. We keep going. And as you see, our other stats are being boosted around it. Body Slam's a one-shot in the Growlithe. Body Slam is a one-shot in the Ponyta. Rapidash comes out. Body Slam critical hit skips over your stat modification, so that's why it was not a one-shot. But we do get a two-hit on the Rapidash. Or I'm sorry, three-hit. And we're going to two-hit the... Well, we were going to two-hit the Arcanine until it healed itself. And we beat Blaine. And we're going to move right back into our battle against our rival. We're a couple levels higher, and we have our extra badge you can see in the bottom left corner that does boost our special. So now when we do Meditate, we will be boosting our special as well, and that is why Meditate is a good move to have. In Generation 2, if we did this, it would just modify the attack stat. So that's the quirk about Generation 1. Like I said, it's a glorious masterpiece of imperfection. I love the game, but it does have some quirks to it like that, and you just gotta love it or hate it, and I love it, and I'll accept the quirks because it did go with the bad, because without it, we don't have Pokemon. And now Body Slam on the Alakazam. And now once all this stuff works, we actually obliterate our rival pretty handily. If we just gone out of order, we'd save ourselves probably a good 2 minutes there of time. And that does affect us in the end. You'll see when it comes to it. And now we're facing Tuavani. Tuavani's going to come out, and this would be a clean sweep. Psychic on every Pokemon. It should be a one-shot across the board. Very good. Knock out the Kangaskhan, knock out the Rhyhorn, and knock out the Nidoqueen. Very good. We get the win over Giovanni. And we're going to go ahead and go on this thing. And we're going to land right in front of Sabrina, and her whip. And having Meditate is actually good for Sabrina because her Pokemon do not like physical moves. And we have Meditate, which will up our physical attack stat. We don't want to mess around too much and give Kadabra a chance like Critus or whatever. We get a critical hit there, so we actually don't knock out the Mr. Mime because it skips over all of our stat buffs. And we're going to go for Psychic on the Venomoth, very good. And the last Pokemon is Alakazam. And we do level up, but we still keep our high attack stat. We knock out Sabrina, get a first try victory over her, and move right on to 3 Giovanni. The final Giovanni fight, final gym leader of the game as well. And he's going to come out with a Rhyhorn. Meditate, we're going to up our stats. We don't want him to stomp us too much. And Psychic is a one-shot on the Rhyhorn. Psychic is a one-shot on the Dugtrio, one-shot on the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen King is also going to be a one-shot. We level up, however, we should still be knocking out. We're not going to learn Substitute. It's a great move, but we don't need it in this game. And we're going to 2-hit the Rhydon. We get a win over Giovanni. Pretty convincing, pretty easy win, to be honest with you. Now we're going to move right on and face our final rival, the penultimate rival before the Elite Four. And he leads out with a Pidgeot. Pidgeot comes out, and we're going to go for Meditate on the Pidgeot. We get a free setup now. It does not have Sand Attack. We do not have to worry about Sand Attack at all with this Pokemon. So we get set up to +4. +4 is good. That should be enough to sweep this team pretty handily. And we're going to go for Psychic on the Rhyhorn. Very good. And then Execute comes out. Body Slam. Hopefully it's a one. Nope, it's a 2-shot. But we don't get Stun Spore. It tried it, but it failed. Very good. We'll take that luck. Knock out the Gyarados. Alakazam comes out. It's a 1-shot. And we have 1 Pokemon left. What is it? It's a Charizard Thunderbolt. I probably should have gone for Body Slam there. Would have been a 1-shot. But we get the win and head right onto the Elite Four. Now that we're at the Elite Four, we're going to look at our stats and our moves. But first, I want to draw your attention to the top left corner. We're looking at the timer. The goal of this playthrough is to get this Pokemon into the S tier. To do so, we have to beat this game in under 40 minutes. So as you can see, 36 minutes and 45 seconds. We got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to beat 5 trainers. So that's what we're doing right now. So you're going to see a playthrough of the Elite Four when nothing's cut out. Usually I cut out all the jibber jabber with the trainers and whatnot. That way we don't have to see it. However, in this one, I'm just letting it play all the way through. You can see me, menuing and whatnot. I usually cut that out, but you're going to see it because we're going to blitz through the Elite Four. Our stats are as follows. Attack, before we go into battle, our attack's 92. Defense is 115, speed is 145, and special is 157. When we get in battle, our badges are applied, and these are our stats in the bottom left corner. 103, defense is 129, attack is 103, defense is 129, speed is 163, and special is 176. Let's go ahead and take on the first member of the Elite Four, and her name is Lorelei. And our moves are Psychic, Meditate, Body Slam, and Thunderbolt. We're not going to change those through the Elite Four. Those are going to stay exactly the same. We're not going to modify any of that. I could have modified Body Slam and maybe put in, Mimic, but I don't see the point in doing that. So Dugong comes out, and what we should have done here is gone for Meditate a couple more times. It's not going to do a lot of damage to us. The worst thing you can do is Growl, and that's actually going to up our special, so that's not the biggest deal in the world. But I get a +2 setup, and I thought it was going to be enough to sweep, but it doesn't. And wow, does Jinx do a lot of damage here, and could have froze us. That could have been bad. And Lapras could have also done something bad here, but it only goes for Body Slam. We do get a 2-hit, get the knockout, get the win over Lorelei, but it's a lot closer than I wanted it to be. So now we're going to do a full restore real quick, and we're going to take on Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. He's actually going to be very easy in this playthrough because Psychic will one-shot every single one of his Pokemon without any issues. We one-shot the Onix, the Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee comes out. It's a one-shot. Onix comes out again. It's a one-shot. And Machamp is going to be a one-shot as well. Get a very easy win over Bruno, and we're going to leave this battle and run right into our battle against. I didn't even save, and Agatha is very dangerous. You have the Agatha Lodge, you can poison you, paralyze you, put you to sleep, or confuse you. But in this case, we are going to one-shot every single one of our Pokemon except for one. We one-shot the Golbat, we one-shot the Haunter, very good. Arbok comes out, we're going to one-shot the Arbok. And the last Pokemon, Gengar, hangs on just enough that we don't one-shot. However, it goes for Dream Eater. She doesn't even have a sleeping move on the last Gengar. It does not make sense. A trainer that is usually a pain in the butt was not a pain in the butt in that circumstance. And we're going to go ahead and wrongfully use a full restore. We're going to use an elixir and restore our power points. And we're going to give 2 rare candies. This is so we don't level up in battle. And now we're going to take on Lance, the Dragon Master. And he leads out with a Gyarados. We're going to go ahead and try to set up on the Gyarados, which was dumb. I should have just gone for setup on the Dragonair. It almost one-shots us from full health with Hydro Pump. So I'm like, you know what? I can't set up anymore on the Gyarados. He could one-shot us. And we almost get knocked out by the Dragonair. And now we're at 2 hit points. We have +2. And like I said, I should have just set up on the Dragonair and just knocked out the Gyarados from the get-go. But Psychic does not one-shot the Dragonite. It misses Slam, thank goodness. And we survive on 2 hit points, get the win over Lance. And now we're going to go ahead and do a full restore. We're going to do 1 more elixir and our final rare candy. And we're going to save. You just never know. Rather be safe than sorry. And just around 39 minutes exactly, we're heading into our battle against our rival, the champion, the final battle of the game. Let's watch this battle. We're going to set up, meditate. So like I said, the bottom left corner, look at the stats. All of them being modified every time I use meditate. And meditate, we get the +5. And I'm not going to risk getting hit by Sky Attack and it being like a stab, super effective move that knocks us out in one go. So we're at +5, and that's good enough for me. Psychic on the Rhydon, very good. Executor comes out, Body Slam is going to be, it skipped over all of our badge modifications because of critical hit. And then Gyarados comes out, Thunderbolt on the Gyarados. And again, I should have switched to Charge, I should have switched to Body Slam. It's my stats modified, I don't know what I was thinking here. But we still get the 2-hit, and we get the win, and we beat the game at 39 minutes and 39 seconds to get our official time locked into the Elite Four. Very good, we're going to pause it right there. 39 minutes and 39 seconds. We'll take it. We'll take a good time. It's not the best time, but it's a good time nonetheless. Very good job with this Pokemon. We had 2 resets, and both of them were the mistake I made at taking on our rival at Silphco. If we'd just gone and face planed first, we probably wouldn't have got a reset at all, and we beat the game at level 65. So pretty good across the board. Let's go and look at our tier list and see where this Pokemon stacks up. So with a time of 39 minutes and 39 seconds, this Pokemon lands 3 seconds behind Mew and 4 seconds in front of Zapdos. Mew's time was 39 minutes and 36 seconds. This Pokemon's time was 39 minutes and 36 seconds. So 39 minutes and 39 seconds. And then Zapdos had a time of 39 minutes and 43 seconds. So these Pokemon, this is a very tight grouping when it comes to the S tier. It's only a 2-minute gap, so I mean, of course, it's going to be kind of tight grouping. But you're seeing a lot of the Psychic types, like I predicted, are really hovering around these top tiers. Now, here's the thing. We have some more Psychic types coming up. I don't know if these Psychic types are going to be that good. So here's the next Pokemon we have that's going to come out next Friday. This Pokemon, Starmie, everyone thinks it's like a super great Pokemon. It is a Stone evolution, so we do not have a lot of good things early in the game with this. I think we start with Water Gun, that's good, and Tackle, and that's it. We don't learn any other moves via level up. So we have to rely solely on TMs, which is not the worst thing. However, we don't get a lot of variety of moves until we beat a couple gyms, and by then, it's going to take its toll. We're going to have a lot of problems, I'm telling you. This is going to be a rough playthrough. It's not going to be as good as people think. I think we get to a point, and this Pokemon gets very good. Once we get to Celadon City, we can get Ice Beam, we can get Psychic. So there's a lot of great things that can come with this Pokemon, but we got to get through a good portion of the game with just Water Gun and Tackle, and then eventually we'll get Bubble Beam. Then we're going to hit a wall when it comes to our rival, because it's going to have a Bulbasaur and an Ivysaur, and those are going to be very problematic for us. It's going to be the best option. There's not a better option. I'm not going to pick Squirtle, and then make the early game is going to be hard facing off against the Bulbasaur line. Eventually it'll get easy because we'll get Psychic later in the game, but it's going to be difficult. So I don't see this Pokemon. That's why I have this Pokemon ranked second to last in the Psychic types. I know it's a good Pokemon. A lot of people have like a skewed memory of these, like this Pokemon and Executor are the two that I get the most common things said when I say these Pokemon aren't very good. Executor is a good Pokemon in Generation 1 because you can pick it up after you've dealt with all the problems. But when you start out at the beginning of the game with the Pokemon and you play through, the problems are very relevant. They're very predominant because, for example, with Executor, you only have Barrage to take care of Brock, so that's a problem. And this Pokemon has Water Gun, so you're not going to have a problem with Brock. However, you don't have any move versatility. It's not like this Pokemon has Confusion. It's not like this Pokemon you can use Recover, because you can't learn that. It's a Stone evolution, so you don't get any level up moves. You start out with what you get, and that's what you get through the entire game. So that comes out next Friday. Next Wednesday, it's a Pokemon I've never used before. Never used before at all, and I'm really excited to play through, and it's Piloswine. We're going to start out with Swinub, and we'll evolve into Piloswine. It actually has a really cool third evolution, Mamoswine, which comes out, I think it was Generation 3 is when it came out. Very cool evolution. I wish we could play that in Generation 2, but I digress, we can't. I mean, it might be a backport patch that Squidgy has or something. I didn't mention that. Make sure you go check out my, check out a bunch of the YouTubers in my description. And while you're there, make sure you like this video, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. All those things help. You made it to the end, so that really helps out the algorithm. But without further ado, I don't think I have much else to talk about. Check out my video coming out next Wednesday. It's going to be Piloswine. It's very exciting. Like I said, I've never played through this Pokemon, so I'm very excited to see what happens. I know it's a very bad Pokemon, or maybe Price is just horrible. Maybe that's what it comes down to, and we do a lot better. I hope that's the case. I hope it's not too bad. I know we get some pretty cool moves in the early game, but when we get them is the question. Swinub gets, I think, access to Powder Snow, which is an ice move. That'll be great for Faulkner, but what level does it get it? I don't know. I haven't even looked at that yet. And then obviously we're going to be playing through with Starmie, and I've looked at Starmie, and I try to figure out Starmie. It's going to be great once we get to Celadon City, but before that is where it's going to struggle. But that's my video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time.